Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Diplomatic Focus with me, Nail. In this platform, we talk about bilateral relations, global affairs, and things about what matters to us, Maldivians. And in this episode, we are having Australian High Commissioner to the Maldives, David Jessups. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity and participating in this program.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to join you and your viewers. It's a great opportunity to talk about the bilateral relationship.
The Australian High Commission was formally opened in Malé on 2nd June, and this is a new stage of relations within the both countries. How has this new diplomatic presence strengthened the Australia's engagement with Maldives and the interests between the both countries?
Now, well, you are right. We did officially open the resident Australian High Commission here in Malé on the 2nd of June. That was during the visit of our Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister, the Honourable Richard Marles. But in fact, we opened or established a permanent presence here in Malé almost more than 2 years ago, in fact, in May of 2023. I arrived in July of 2023, so I've been here now just over 2 years. So over that period, we've been able to really broaden and deepen the bilateral relationship. So prior to that, the Australian High Commission in Colombo was accredited to the Maldives, so the High Commissioner based in Colombo would come in and out periodically. But I'm based here. I live out in Hulamale, a beautiful place by the beach, so absolutely thrilled to be here and enjoying my time very much. But I think it's important for us to really use that opportunity of being on the ground to better understand the needs and the aspirations of the country of Maldivians, and really look to identify ways that Australia can assist in that development process. We share an awful lot in common. We celebrated 50 years of diplomatic relations just last year, but the people-to-people ties are much older, particularly through education. So many Maldivians have studied in Australia. So those people-to-people links are really strong. So there's an opportunity for us to, I think, just continue to develop and broaden the relationship. We share an awful lot in common. We're both island nations surrounded by water, different sizes obviously, but island nations. So maritime security is clearly very important to both of us. We share an interest in seeing a peaceful, stable and prosperous Indian Ocean region. From Australia's perspective, we're very keen to see a region where international norms and the rule of law and sovereignty are respected, where no one country dominates and no one country is dominated. So where small island states have agency or have the ability to choose and make choices about their development and their futures. So Australia is very keen to be seen as a strong and reliable partner in that process. So very keen to sort of continue to deepen and broaden the relationship. Yeah.
You mentioned that both countries are island states. Maritime security is another vital area, as we are island states. It's a vital area of cooperation. Australia's recent donation of a Guardian-class patrol vessel highlights that very much. Could you please elaborate on the further initiatives, and how do you think will this be a power for us, Maldives and Maldives-Australia relations to align in these interests?
Well, thank you for raising the gifting of the Guardian-class patrol boat. It really is a significant step up in the bilateral relationship, particularly the defence relationship. So during the visit of the Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister, Richard Marles, he announced that Australia would gift the Guardian-class patrol boat, and it really is a strong commitment of Australia's willingness to be a strong and trusted, reliable partner of Maldives. We're very keen to ensure that Maldives has the sovereign capability to patrol its maritime domain. And I think this vessel will absolutely do that. So it is a brand new patrol boat. It's currently under production in Western Australia, in Perth. So it's due to roll off the production line in the first half of next year. So in the period between now and it's ready to set sail, we'll be working very closely with the Maldivian Defence Force to ensure that the personnel are trained and have the necessary capabilities, and the processes are in place to take delivery of the vessel, but then more importantly to operate the vessel. So as I say, a really significant step up in the bilateral relationship, all based around maritime security. But in addition to the gifting of the patrol boat, Australia and the Maldivian Defence Force are working on a whole range of issues. So in fact tomorrow I'll be at a ceremony gifting some hydrography equipment to the Coast Guard in order to provide Maldives with the sovereign capability to survey your territorial waters. So again, another really significant development in our relationship, but a contribution towards Maldivian capability in the maritime security space. In addition to that, the Australian Border Force is heavily engaged with agencies here in Maldives, including Customs, Coast Guard, Immigration, to ensure that the Maldivian agencies have the capability to address challenges around transnational crime, for example, but protecting your borders is critically important. So the Border Force is very keen to assist in that space. We've also been working with the Coast Guard on the construction of the new Maldives Rescue Coordination Centre. There's been a number of other partners involved, but Australia is contributing to the fit out of the new centre to make that operational, which is another great development in the relationship. I think we're also involved in providing law of the sea training, and our police-to-police cooperation is also very, very strong, which contributes to the broader security environment in the country.
Yeah. When we talk about maritime security, another issue is there. We have climate change within front of us, and it's a pressing challenge for us Maldivians as well, and not only for us, for everyone around the world. How is Australia contributing to the climate change initiatives by Maldives, and how are both countries working in this phase?
Yeah, no, well, you're absolutely right. I mean, climate change is an existential threat to the Maldives. I've been here and I've seen, the tidal surges, water flooding across the roads, erosion, coastal erosion, shoreline erosion. So absolutely a major challenge. And I think it's important that, all countries really work together to address these challenges. And Australia is a strong supporter of the global climate change efforts, as is Maldives, and Australia is very supportive of the very strong advocacy that Maldives demonstrates on the international stage, particularly in COP and the small island state processes. So very, very keen to work with Maldives on these issues globally, internationally. Australia is hoping, in fact, to host COP31 next year. So the hosting arrangements are still to be resolved, but Australia is hopeful that we'll be successful in that bid to host COP31. And it makes perfect sense that Australia and Maldives work very closely together on the issues that COP31 will be looking to address. We'll be working closely with Pacific Island countries, if we're successful with that bid. So I think the challenges are very similar across the Pacific and the Indo-Pacific, Indian Ocean islands, I should say. So very keen to see us work very closely in that space. But more specifically, in terms of what Australia is doing to assist the challenges that Maldives is facing, we've been working very closely with UN agencies, UNDP in particular, and we've committed $5 million over 5 years to a number of projects around marine protected areas, but also renewables. So on the marine protected areas, Australian assistance, in fact, was instrumental in establishing the marine parks in Adu and Formula. So we'll be looking to help continue to develop those marine parks, and then working, as I say, with UNDP around some projects relating to rooftop solar to help Maldives meet its goal of 33% renewables by 2030. We're also engaged a number of Australian agencies, including AIMS, which stands for the Australian Institute of Marine Sciences. We've been working very closely with MMRI around coral reef restoration and regeneration. So there's an interesting project that was launched earlier this year around harvesting the coral larvae when it spawns, and then the coral larvae are placed on tiles, and then they're placed on this ceramic tile that is then distributed across the reefs to help with the regeneration of the coral. So really sort of front-end science, groundbreaking science, helping to sort of address the challenges of coral bleaching.
As you have mentioned before, there are so many Maldivian students studying in Australia. According to what I found, with over 700 Maldivians have studied in Australia, and many still prefers, and through scholarships also, many chances are still being given. How do these educational scholarships support in capacity building, and are there any plans to expand this?
No, thank you. I mean, education really is the backbone of the bilateral relationship. As I said at the beginning, the education relationship, in fact, dates back almost 70 years, so even before independence. So, as you rightly mentioned, over 700 Maldivians have now studied in Australia. It's probably getting closer to 750, in fact, through scholarships funded by the Australian government. But there are many, many more Maldivians who have self-funded their education in Australia, and then the Maldivian government also provides scholarships. So the Australian alumni network is incredibly large, but super impressive. The calibre of the people that have studied in Australia and the contribution that they've made to the development of Maldives is incredible. So across a very wide range of sectors, both government, private sector, academia, it doesn't matter, wherever I go, I come across somebody that has a very, very strong connection to Australia through education. So it's one of the best parts of my job, in fact, is to engage with the Australian alumni, to hear their stories, to hear the change in their lives from the opportunity to study in Australia. And they're all just so enthusiastic and energetic in terms of trying to draw on the experience from the education that they've gained in Australia and making that contribution to the development of Maldives. So I'm very proud of the Australian contribution to the development of human capital here in Maldives.
Well, economic and trade is a very important area, and as Maldives, our country is a tourism country, and a lot of tourists visit every year. How do you see, particularly in this area, economic, trade and tourism, how do you see the collaboration, and what are the future plans?
So our bilateral trading relationship is quite small, so I'm very keen to sort of see that grow. We have just over 30,000 Australian tourists that travel to Maldives each year. That has been increasing, but I think there are opportunities certainly for that to continue to expand and to grow. I think one of the challenges that we face in that regard is that there is no direct flight. So to get to the Maldives from Australia, you have to go via either Southeast Asia or Colombo, or even to the Middle East and back. So It's something that's been raised with me frequently by ministers, by the Maldivian government. So we are working on an agreement that would, it's called an air services agreement, that would put the legal foundations in place for direct flights to happen. Of course, it will then be up to the airlines to make commercial decisions as to, you know, the profitability of that direct route. But I think that there is certainly opportunity for us to continue to expand the number of tourists, but also the two-way trade. There's certainly quite a bit of Australian product available in the Maldivian market, but certainly in the resort sector. Some very good quality Australian meat, but obviously I'd like to see that grow and expand.
Well, both nations actively participates in frameworks like Commonwealth, Indian Ocean Rim Association, and many other platforms as well. How is Australia leveraging these platforms to advance shared priorities such as good governance, human rights, and democracy?
No, so IORA, the Indian Ocean Rim Association, I think is critical in terms of the cooperation across the region. Australia sees IORA as the principal regional organisation and is very committed to ensure IORA functions well. And I know Maldives is a strong participant, so we very much appreciate the engagement in those regional organisations to improve cooperation and develop a regional approach to issues of common interest that I spoke about at the beginning, relating to a strong, prosperous, stable and peaceful Indian Ocean region. IORA focuses heavily on climate change, so there are a number of opportunities for Australia and Maldives to cooperate on those climate change issues through IORA. The Commonwealth, obviously, we're both members of the Commonwealth. Australia supported the Commonwealth Election Observer Mission that was here during the presidential elections. So we engage heavily on those issues around governance, and the Commonwealth is one of the avenues to do that. We also contribute through the UNDP to a range of sort of governance programs, I should say, really about strengthening democratic institutions. And one of the ways that we've been doing that is through a series of practice parliaments. So we've been working with UNDP and the Margilis to run a series of programs for both youth but also women, to allow them to get a stronger understanding, a better understanding of political processes, and to encourage their engagement to help strengthen democracy and build up those democratic institutions.
Your insights into Maldives-Australia relationship highlights the potential and the way to grow. Are there any comments you would like to mention before we conclude?
Well, thank you for the opportunity, firstly, to talk about the bilateral relationship. It's obviously something, deep, to my heart. I've just absolutely thoroughly enjoyed my time here so far. As I mentioned, I've just done 2 years. I'll be here for another 2 years. But one of the things that I've really enjoyed about my time here is engaging with the community. So I've done some travel to the outer islands. I've been to a range of places: Kulurufulshi, Adu, Formula, Kamadu. But I'm very, very keen to get out and visit more places and engage with the community and get a good understanding of some of the challenges that they face and how Australia can assist in that development process. So the thing that's really struck me about being out there in the outer islands is just how warm and welcoming, the hospitality has just been amazing. So it's obviously, the beautiful beaches, turquoise water is stunning, but it really is the people-to-people connections that I've really valued the most. It's something that I'm very, very keen to continue to build on and develop the relationship further as we go forward.
Yeah.
So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you success as you stay here for another 2 years, and wish you an adventurous stay in Maldives, and I hope you visit many other islands as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Shukriya.
Yeah. And for viewers, I hope you got a lot of important information from this interview with the Australian High Commissioner, and we will be bringing you other stories from other High Commissioners, from foreign relation angles, and from other perspectives as well. Wish you a pleasant time. Thank you for watching. Bye.